Welcome to the Karyn Reece Show. I'm psychic medium Karyn Reece with my other half, Alexa Zappia.
Hello, my other half. How are you?
Two good brains make a good one? Or
Yes.
something like that. Anyways.
How are you?
Good. So we're going to be busy today. I know we've got some very interesting
Yes.
people coming up. And
As always, so
yes,
excited.
Dead and alive. So we have like a group effort, you know.
So anyways, so a lot of times I think people use this word interchangeably, and I don't know psychically or whatever, spiritual, I guess, if it's the same thing. What's the difference between like a thought and an insight?
Oh, I love that. Well, insight is often thought of as a psychic impression of some sort. And there is a difference. You can't always tell the difference. It's very subtle energy, but many times people don't even realize you're getting psychic impressions, where the best way to describe it, number one, if you get an interruption of thought. So if you're busy doing something, maybe you're cleaning your car or whatever, and you get an interruption of thought of something, that's a good chance you're picking that up psychically. The other way to identify if you're receiving some sort of psychic impression or insight, as you would say, versus just a random thought, is the emotional attachment that you may have towards that. So, you know, you may be in one emotional state and you get an interruption of thought again, and suddenly your emotional state changes, you know, good, bad, or indifferent. So that's an indication that you're picking up something psychic. Then you want to look at where do you think it's originating from. You may sense your grandmother at one point, and you might pick up the idea of making sauce. Psychically, even though you were just in the middle of vacuuming, as an example. So there's an indication that your grandma's talking to you telepathically in your frame of reference. So you're picking up her information to you. Because everything on the earth plane, typically speaking, from the spirit world, is done telepathically. And that's why it gets a little confusing too, because in your frame of reference, in the way you hear yourself think, a lot of times you're picking up their, you know, impressions, or you're just getting something psychic, but it's coming in your frame of reference. So it's just very subtle, but notice a mood change or a interruption of thought.
That's so crazy, because that does happen
Oh,
a lot, all the time to me, and I'm like, what is it? Like,
oh yeah, and here's a good point too, and I know this happens to everybody. You know, you're driving and all of a sudden you get this gut instinct to make a left instead of going down your normal route, say going straight ahead. Well, you make the left, and thank God, because you later learn that there was a fender bender or some sort of, you know, tie up down the road, you know, traffic jam. So again, you know, you got that, you know, gut instinct. And if you listen to that and you pay attention, you know, usually 9 times out of 10, you're in a better position. You're receiving it psychically.
So even though we're not like you in that our psychic intuition is that high, we're still getting it just at a lower level, essentially.
Yes. Actually,
That makes sense.
everybody has a little bit of psychic ability. Just like everybody can draw, everybody can typically do basic math. 1 and 1 is 2. It's just you have variations of levels.
That makes sense.
And, you know, most people, you know, have a pretty decent amount. A lot of psychics out there claim to have a great amount, but most of them are usually about 50-60%.
That makes sense.
But the key here is listen to your intuition, or if you get an interruption of thought, or your mood changes with a new thought or something along that lines, there's a good chance you're receiving, I would say, something psychic, or you're receiving a message from the other side. Oh, and if you suddenly think, like I said earlier, of a loved one that pops in your mind at the same time that you're given this information, that's the person from the other side trying to communicate to you, again, in your frame of reference. Don't
I love that.
Always listen to your intuition. It's the
I
you know,
love that.
tip of the day.
Thank you so much for that, because so many people call the office asking or write in online, so thank you for that. And I guess next time I decide to make a left and not a right, I'm going to blame you for that and call you after.
Teamwork.
Exactly. Thank you guys so much, and we'll be back for more. Welcome back to the Karyn Reece Show. So we are here today at Hospice Buffalo. We're here with Emily Carrier, who's the Special Events Coordinator here at Hospice. And so for the past couple of months, we have been doing a fundraiser along with the Sweet Whisk, giving away Karyn Reece hospice chocolate boxes. And half of the proceeds went to Hospice Buffalo. So we're here to present a check. We have fundraised over $1,600 thus far. So half of it's being split into 2 funds. The Steven Zappia Fund, which is my grandfather, and then Dr. Hanley Horowitz, his fund, who is my stepdad. So thank you, first of all, for doing this. And then can you just kind of talk about this partnership and what it's meant to hospice, and, you know, where the funds are going towards?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we are always so grateful for relationships like this within our community, because it's without you guys, without people like you, a lot of what we do here at Hospice wouldn't be possible. So all of the money raised, all of the $1,600 will be staying right here in Western New York, benefiting all of the patients who are served by Hospice. So whether they're in a nursing home, here on campus, getting home care, or even our pediatric patients. We do serve over 100 pediatric patients a day. So all of this money definitely goes to help them and their families during a time when they need it most.
I love it. Thank you so much. This has been such an amazing partnership, definitely full circle.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add?
Did you try any of these? They're so delicious.
They are so
I knew you couldn't say
They're
no.
so good.
I am a chocolate lover. I love something sweet. I have a very big sweet tooth. So when I heard this was going on, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to try these. So yes.
And in addition to the check and everything that we have, people have donated hot chocolate boxes to Hospice.
Yes.
So we have a whole stack of those to give you, your staff, the families here from Western New York community, and actually people who donated actually even were outside of the country. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Oh
we
my
had a
gosh.
lot with this. So thank you so much, and hopefully we'll continue this type of partnership in the future and help you guys
No,
out.
we appreciate it so much, and like I said, without supporters like you, we really could not do what we do here at Hospice. So it really is important, and you guys are making a difference. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is Alexa Zappia from the Karyn Reece Show. I am here with some very, very special UV students who wanted to take part in the Karyn Reece Sweet Whisk Hospice fundraiser. And these 4 students collectively have raised a couple $100 towards hospice. So I wanted to speak with them today. So Sari, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So why did you want to start this? Like, why you were kind of like the lead who was just like, let's do it. So why did you want to start this, and what was the impetus behind that for you?
So college students, we are always trying to find ways to give back to the community. We're always looking for community service. And you're someone who's very close to me, and I know how much this means to you.
Thank you.
So as a group, like all of us, we're all very close to you. So we were like, what's a way that we can give back to the community while also supporting one of our close friends? So.
Oh, I love you guys. Thank you. So Alex, you fundraised a lot too. So you're actually from Buffalo, unlike everyone else here. So how did you know hospice growing up, and how has that changed as you've gotten older?
I guess hospice was just kind of something that was always part of my community. And then a few years ago, my grandfather was also very seriously ill, and they brought in hospice just before he passed. So it's been something that's kind of close to my heart because they've touched my life here and there. And I know that they help people all around the community, which is always very, very special. And it's important to you, so it's important to me.
Thank you. And you're important to me. So Chloe, you're from Rochester. So obviously there's hospice around the world, but how has it impacted you as a college student to remain within the Buffalo community, even though you're not from here?
Being in Buffalo has been like a huge thing for me. I really wanted to be in this community, and I knew moving here for college, this would be my community, and I would leave Rochester, that is my home, but I wanted to build my own network out here. So supporting you and supporting all of the people that I've met while I've been networking and being out here has been super, super helpful. This really has been my home for the past 4 years, and I'm really sad to say, like, this won't be my home much longer.
Yes, it will. You're forever going to be a Buffalonian. Don't say that.
I know Buffalo will always be in my heart, but I won't be here all the time, which is so sad. But I did want to just help give back to the community what I've gotten in the 4 years that I've been here.
Well, you have, so thank you for that. Josh! Hi.
Hi.
So you're not from here either,
No,
but
from Syracuse.
yeah. So that's okay. So what events did you guys do to kind of start the fundraising with you guys, and you did the apple picking and the paint night and stuff like that. So how was that, and how was that? Were you able to fundraise a lot? How was that? How did you do that?
Yeah, I mean, we were able to fundraise a substantial amount. We just outreached to people we knew, people who wanted to contribute. We trusted members of our community to help us, and I'm very glad that trust was well placed.
I love it. Great answers, guys. Well, Sari, thank you guys, all of you. Sari, Alex, Chloe, Josh, thank you guys so much. I know that you have some donations that you also wanted to give in addition to the money, so that's great. You'll give them to Justina, and these chocolates. Can I see one for a sec? Yes, of course. These Karyn Reece chocolates. 50% of the proceeds actually go towards hospice. So what they did is they not only made a cash donation, but they donated some chocolates over to the hospice staff who does so much within our community and the families. So thank you guys so much for doing this. We really, really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Of course. So guys, I'm here with Justina, who's one of the special events coordinators here at Hospice, and she's been instrumental in this whole partnership. So Justina, welcome. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. So thank you so much for doing this. And, you know, when I called you, I just had 2 losses within our family, and I was like, I want to give back to you guys. So thank you for following us along the whole journey. So why do you feel like your work here at Hospice is so crucial?
Yeah, well, thank you guys first and foremost for doing this awesome fundraiser for us.
Absolutely.
We can't do what we do without all these little fundraisers throughout the year. So it's so appreciated. And yeah, the best thing too about our work and all the money raised is that it all stays right here in Erie County. Hospice and Palliative Care Buffalo serves over 1,000 patients every day here in Erie County, and it's not just the patients, but it's their families and caregivers too. So we're really touching, you know, our neighbors, our friends, our family, people we might see on the street, you know, really touching so much in the whole community.
That's awesome. Thank you. You do such amazing work. So how long have you been here, and how long, you know, how has your journey kind of, you know, evolved as you've been here?
Yeah, so I've been at Hospice for about 1.5 years now. Started as a special events coordinator, and now have started to move more to do more of the fundraising and be on the donor side of things as well. And really just watching our organization go through a really tough time, like many other organizations with COVID, and just like rise up above it. And it's been amazing to see. I mean, we have great leadership, you know, from the top down. So it's an awesome place to be and work.
It is. It really is. So thank you so much for all that you do, for all that Hospice does. I mean, you really, 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 truly change lives daily and impact so many families. So thank you. And we've loved helping you, and hopefully this can be a continued something in the future.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Absolutely.
I'm Kenny, and this is Amanda from the Sweet Whisk, and we'd like to thank each and everybody from Western New York for your donation and the purchase of the Karyn Reece box for Hospice Buffalo.
Here at the Sweet Whisk, it was really great to be able to make that sweet donation.
Welcome back to the Karyn Reece Show. As always, anytime Karyn's around, spirit's around. So if you would like to potentially win a reading to connect with your loved ones or to hear about your future, you may do so by entering on our website at www.karynreece.com, spelled KARYNREECE.com. You can also visit us on Facebook at Karyn Reece Psychic Medium, or on Instagram and on Twitter at Karyn Reece. You can also visit her on TikTok, which is at Karyn Reece and then the number 1. And then you can also send us an email, Karyn, Karyn, and then the little @ KarynReece.com. So today we have a very lucky winner with us who wrote to us via email. Debbie, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great. How are you?
Awesome. Great. Karyn, take it away.
Oh my God, Deb, we got a lot of people coming in real quickly. Was there an Ann connection in the family? Who's it that your mom's talking about? Or somebody like a Mary Ann or something with an Ann?
Mary Ann.
Who's the Mary Ann that mom said? Because she goes, was this an aunt?
She was an aunt who just passed.
She's with your mom and dad. She goes, Ann, Mary Ann, and your aunt says Ann. So they're all starting to come in. Who has or who had an October or a November? I think your dad showed me birthday or passing or anniversary. Who's in the living or who's at that dad's talk about?
There's a November birthday.
Yeah, they kept saying November. Yeah.
My granddaughter, his great granddaughter, is a November birthday. His daughter Dawn is a November birthday.
Oh, okay, because your dad kept saying November and your mom. I always put them in too, and he kept saying, you know, coming up. So tell everybody happy birthday from your mom and your dad. Is there somebody with a first or last name like a Sheila or Shields? Is that somebody you work with in business or something you've done business with? Sheila Shields?
Shields is across the street from us.
Oh, it's across because your dad said close by. So I didn't know. And then your mom started talking business with dad. They're all talking. So these are your neighbors.
Neighbors.
Yeah. Do you like them? Your dad likes them.
They're very nice.
Yep.
They had an unfortunate incident, and but everything is great now.
That's what your dad said. See, they're very nosy. They're in your house, your parents. They hear what goes on. You can't make this up. Like that's
You
just
can't
too
make
funny.
this up, can you? Spirit's always got your number.
Your mom's laughing. So the whole thing, Deb, when you were talking about your neighbors, apparently they overheard that, thank God for good things your mom said to tell you. Do you know somebody that lost a son?
Yes.
Is that a friend of yours, I take it? Somebody you worked with?
A brother-in-law and sister-in-law.
That's what I just started to hear. Okay, this is on your husband's side,
Yes.
your nephew.
Yes.
Yeah, because your nephew just came in and he said, and he's talking about your work, which I couldn't hear what he was saying, but he said, yep, I'm doing really well. And Deb, I'm doing really well. And he's got a flower for you. He's talking about a mic, which might be connected to his dad or to him. It might be a friend. I don't know if that means.
Brother-in-law.
Okay, that's another. Okay, in that family, yeah. And he said, I want to thank everybody for all the good that you've done. Your mom brought him in today, your nephew and your dad. He's doing really well. And he said, nothing could have been done differently. He goes, I'm okay. I'm having a great time, just so you know. And he likes to take your dog that's with your mom and dad for walks, just so you know. I go, you're a brown nose. He goes, whatever it takes, Kara. I just tell my aunt that. And he's got a lot of friends too. And it seems like your sister-in-law and your brother-in-law, I know that they're still heartfelt, but he said, make sure you tell my family that someday we'll be together again. And he lived and loved his life. And he said, I just want you to know that there's nothing that could have been done differently. By the way, he also heard about the neighbors too, the Shields, just so you know. Who's Tom, by the way? Is it another close friend of yours, Thompson or Tom, or is this with your husband? Where's the Tom?
Well, first of all, I live on Thompson.
Oh, that's what I didn't know that. That's what your nephew was saying. He said connected. That's your confirmation. He's in your house on Thompson Road. You can't make this up.
That's crazy.
He said, tell her Thompson. I'm thinking a name, but he said, no, my aunt and uncle. So when they talk, you can't hear them very clearly. Your house has great vibes, just so you know. So that means a lot of dead people are there. It's too bad you can't get them to do the dishes. Your mother says, what?
Oh my God, I wish I could. Or cook.
Well, I know that feeling. He's laughing about that. That's hilarious. Oh, wow. We've totally given away the whole hood. You can see the Shields, the Thompson. I mean, dead people in your house, which really are alive, just so you know. Was there a Helen in the family, or was it an Ellen or a Helen, or is that, who's that?
I have a girlfriend, Helen.
Your mom said close Helen. Hang it up there, Mom. Stop talking fast. Do you know you and Helen have a really past life? And your nephew thinks it's really hilarious because he's talking about you. You are a Puritan. He goes, ha ha. That's just wrong. Hang your horses up. He goes, yeah, you should have seen your teeth too, Aunt Deb, back in the day. And you and your friend Helen were very close Puritans back, I guess, in the 1600s. It looks like you stayed in England. You didn't come over, but apparently you were a Puritan in England.
Wow.
So start having like those pints of Guinness, make up for that past life.
Oh, I'm good at it. I'm still good at it.
That's what your dad said. Count me in again. Your dad keeps talking. Is there somebody with a first or a last name like a Wall, like Wally or Wahlberg or something? Wall. Is this a business connection? Wall. Dad's talking.
I knew a Wally in business.
That's what he's saying. The business connection. Good guy. Do you like Wally?
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
He's not with us anymore.
No, he's with your dad.
He was a very good friend of my dad's.
Yeah, because Wall business connection. Yeah. And he said, I just want to thank you for all the great things that you did for everybody. That's what Wally said. And your father goes, that's my girl. And your mother goes, isn't that so true? And she's a good cook, despite what she says your nephew said to tell you. He does like to come around you. Hang on there, Wally. Wally said, make sure you stop and smell the roses.
I plan to.
Yep. And your father's laughing about that. Who likes bubble gum or hard candy? Was it your dad or who's that, you?
My father.
Because he keeps talking about like hard candy and how delicious it is.
He used to hand hard candy out to all the moms at all the games.
Oh, gotcha. Yep. He's got even better hard candy, just so you know. Your nephew keeps bothering me, by the way. You really are killing me, just so you know. And he keeps laughing. He goes, you're the best. Tell my aunt. He's talking about a Ryan or a Brian must be a friend with him on that side or here. And he said, everything's okay. And a Jake, I think he's trying to tell me. So FYI, so if you can pass that on.
I will. His name is Ryan.
Oh
my God.
That's what he's telling me.
Ryan.
I thought he was trying to say that. I'm looking at him and he goes, and I'm hot stuff, just so you know. He's very
adorable. And I was going to ask you about him if I didn't hear from him.
Oh, isn't that funny? And he said, of course, he goes, and your mom did bring him in. She invited him, but he said, why wouldn't I show up? He goes, my aunt's one of my favorite people. And you made such an impression on me. He goes, please, please tell everybody I'm happy. And he goes, I want everybody to be happy. And you know, your mother, she's taking good care of everybody, including Ryan. She goes, we just love him. And Rye said when he released from the body, and I do hear this a lot, that he said, I felt no fear, I had no pain. And he goes, it just was an amazing experience. It's indescribable. But he said, truly, this is our in-between lifetimes, Aunt Deb. He goes, really it is. And your parents confirmed it. Just like we looked at your past life and he still is picking on you and Ellen when you were Puritans or what have you. He thinks it's hilarious. Boy, what a change that is. You can tell my aunt that. So there you go, Deb, you know.
Tell him I have better teeth now.
It's because you take after your dad said to tell you.
Of course.
Your father's very proud of you. And he said, I just want you to know, I can't believe all the amazing things that you did. Same with Wally, by the way. So Wally's like, you're just an amazing gal. But that doesn't surprise them because anything you touch turns to gold.
Oh.
So, you know, you've got this like great thing and your kids look very happy. I love your kids and your grandkids. Like you just have a good family. By the way, Ryan wants you to say hello to the kids too. He said, I'll always be there anytime you need. And he goes, don't ever feel sad and tell my family that. He goes, I'm okay. You know, he really does look good, by the way. You know,
We're a very close family. My family here and the one, my brother-in-law, we're very, very, all of us are very close on both sides of my family. We're very fortunate.
your nephew Ryan says, I can't thank you enough. He goes, you have no idea. Every time somebody thinks about me, you get this like little angel, you know, thought, a little angel music, you know, close people, you might hear like little violin or like ding, ding, you know, somebody's thinking about it. He goes, it makes me, you know, so happy, so near and dear to my heart. And he said, even when it comes to the holidays too, Christmas, Turkey Day, whatever, the fact that people still talk and hear about me.
We spend Thanksgiving with that family every year.
Yeah, that's
So
it.
he's always around us.
Ryan said the next time, you know, we all get together and you can, and actually he'll do this anyways, look for lights that flicker. It happens fast, anything electrical. In fact, his mom, I think she's going to see something on her phone or your brother-in-law's phone that relates to Ryan. So they may like go to do something and then you see the name Ryan unexpectedly. You know, there's some connection along with that. And he's also talking, somebody's got his voice recording on one of their phones. So you'll know he's around. Well, you'll know when your dad's around because he's always hungry. So if you think dad's hungry and you're sitting down, you're picking your dad up psychically. He knows dad never misses a good meal, he said.
No. Every time he had a good meal, he'd say, you'd pay $24.95 for this in a store. This would be worth $39.95. So he put a price tag on every meal that we made.
I love it.
Apparently he's still doing it.
And the kids now will do it because we have Sunday dinner like we did always. And we would all sit there and one of the kids will say, Mom, this pasta is $42.95.
Your father's laughing about that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And hopefully that gave you the peace and the closure that you needed. Karyn, thank you. And Spirit, thank you.
And thank you.
Oh, both of you ladies. It was such a pleasure and a privilege to meet you.
Thank you.
Likewise. And give Ziggy the piggy dog. I thought he was saying piggy. He was saying Ziggy. I'm like, piggy goes no, but fat. I'm like, okay, piggy, right?
Tell him the next time I visit him, I'm going to be walking Ziggy. He's going to be lean and mean.
So did your mother. Do what she said.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, ladies. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
You too. Bye. Welcome back to the Karyn Reece Show. As always, if you would like to connect with Karyn, hear from your deceased loved ones, or hear about your future, you can do so in various ways. You can visit our website at www.karynreece.com, spelled KarynReece.com. You can visit her on Facebook at Karyn Reece Psychic Medium, or on Instagram and on Twitter at Karyn Reece. You can also visit her on TikTok, which is new, Karyn Reece 1, so that's the number 1 on TikTok. You can also send an email, Karyn, Karyn, and then the little @ KarynReece.com. Thank you so much for your insight today. I loved it.
Well, you're more than welcome.
So I have a question,
Sure.
besides like the audience questions that we had.
Yes. You always have good questions, by the way.
Thank you. So because you're psychic and this is just your life, do you ever get psychic insights on people within your own circle? And then if so, how do you present that to them? Or is it just too close and you keep it? Like, if you get something like from me, like, how would that work? Do you filter or?
Well, you know, from experience, if I get it, I say it. Well, if you're meant to get it, yes. And I have family members, they already know who I am. So they're very, you know, accepting, you know, family's family. So if not, they'll get over it. So if I get information, I'll tell them what they want to do with it. It's their choice.
Do you like filter or no?
No. Are you kidding me? My family? Filter? You should know that, you know. Sometimes I don't even have it in the office, but it is what it is. And, you know, it is what it is. And I also get information about myself, too. I mean, over the years, I've had, you know, things pop up. So, you know, it's whether or not somebody wants to use it, that's up to them. This is what I see, this is what I get, this is what I hear, whatever, however I get it, you know, this is for you, do with what you want. And, you know, it is what it is. By the way, my cousins can be tough, but I have a ton of cousins. The boys are a lot of fun. They're actually the ones that can really be tough, but they're still a lot of fun because, you know, the women tend to be more open.
So are they not receptive of what you do?
Oh, they are, but they like to bust your chops. So, you know how boys are, yeah. They're a lot of fun, though. So,
I get it. That makes sense. Well, thank you for that.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of The Karyn Reece Show, and we'll be back next week for more.